Tyler Tork.
Tyler!
Just listed yourself as speculative fiction, but I think there's probably more to it. Tyler is not yet a famous author of speculative fiction. Is a not yet famous author.
Infamous.
Mostly for the young and tolerant. He has a novel in print called Dr. Dead.
Over there.
Back there from Rampant Moon Media and the supposedly non-fiction one-hour author website, self-published. Other works are forthcoming to be announced at his website, tylertork.com, where Tyler also will answer any question people care to pose. For entertainment purposes only, do not try to apply these answers in real-world situations. One day, his alien masters will return for him. Meanwhile, he muddles through Tyler Tork, everyone.
Thank you. I wasn't actually quite sure how to classify this. It's sort of a mystery. The Badger's Game. I tailed the mutt all the way from Bianca's place. Didn't need a bloodhound's schnoz for that. He stopped at practically every hydrant. He was lean and sleek and pedigreed, and his collar was studded with rhinestones. But I'd sooner sniff butts with the mangiest mongrel in town, because I had a strong suspicion that Rex was a bad boy. A very bad boy. On that dark night, Rex wound up at a scrubby patch of forest on the wrong side of the tracks. He'd spot me if I followed him across the stretch of gravel, so I lay in the darkened doorway of a shop to watch. The joint had seen better days. It smelled of tomcat, the window was cracked and taped, and the squeaky toys behind it were sun-faded, out of style. They must have been sitting there for dog years. After a quarter hour or so, Rex slunk out of the brush. Whatever he'd been doing, he knew it was nothing to be praised for. That actually made me like the mug a little better. At least he wasn't beyond shame. He legged it toward uptown, and I didn't bother to follow. I knew where he'd head. He had an appointment with my client if he didn't want to be in the doghouse, and the bitch could keep an eye on him herself for the rest of the night. I was more interested in where he'd been, so I trotted across the tracks myself. It ain't glamorous work, but it keeps me in biscuits and tennis balls. Just gotta be ready for a scrap if someone else starts it and keep your nose to the ground. That night, my nose led to a dive where there'd been foxes, badgers, and other lowlifes aplenty, though they'd all taken a breeze. Too mixed up to tell who'd been there last, but I had a pigeon I could ask. The pigeon in this case was a fox. I sniffed her out in her den on the basement level of an old oak tree. We booped snoots in the doorway. "Hey, Blue," she said, moving aside. "Come, sit." Kit. I followed her bushy red tail down into the dark. Her place was snug, but she liked it that way. "Hope you can stay a while this time." Her silky tone purred with suggestion. It was tempting, but a pooch has to draw the line somewhere. "You're quite a vixen," I said, "but you know you ain't my type." "Feh, you and your scruples. Who would care?" "Sorry, I don't know what you want with a scarred-up old brute like me anyway." "Well, then what did you need? I assume you had some reason for stopping in, since you're not here for the company." I felt my tail droop. "Don't be that way. I like you, Kit. You're a right sort." "Ah, hell, I can't resist those sad eyes. But you do want something, right?" "There's something in it for you, too, if you've got the goods. I need the rap on a tall, gray Weimaraner named Rex. He's been hanging with a bad pack, and he's all of a sudden rolling in the stuff. So," I paused to work out how to phrase it without giving up my client, but Kit was already shaking her head. "No way am I mixing in that business. You expect me to rat on that crowd? I'm no bunny. That's just a good way to end up 1 foot under." In my circles, we would say, "Get sent to the farm," but I got her drift. Nobody would know who spilled it. "It's not just me I'm worried about. These aren't your usual petty thugs. They've got muscle." That actually narrowed it down a bit, but I didn't let on since I didn't want the doll to fret. "I see. Well, I might tell my client to take it to the bulls then." That was peanut butter, and she knew it. If I thought the Bulls could do any good, I'd still be working for them instead of scraping by in my lone wolf operation. But she pretended to buy it. Then, if you have nothing to do until morning, you can anyway stay and cuddle. Doll, I am not that strong. I'll visit you on a better day. What you call a better day will be sometime in February. Just don't you come dragging your tail in here dead, she called after that same tale. The client lived in a dream of a house set in the middle of a perfect lawn, behind a tall chain-link fence that kept the riff-raff out, but let them goggle at the big modern building with sunny cushions in each picture window, thick carpets, a television in every room. A big old turkey came up to the gate. "Chanel's expecting me," I said, and he let me in without comment, leading around the end of the house, past the Frisbee launcher, the treadmill with its rolls of moving scenery currently not in use. The broad in charge lounged on an inflatable dinghy in the pool, her long white hair still damp from a dip. "Make it fast," she said. "I have a petty in 30. Did you find out what he's up to?" I put in a solid day of chasing down leads. Most of them knew who Rex was, so he hadn't kept a low profile. No one was talking, but you can get a lot of hints if you pretend you already know something, even if it's just a puzzled look when you guess wrong. I had some idea of what was going on, but I couldn't honestly say that I knew. I'm still digging around. "Well, I'm not paying you to loaf. When will you have the goods on him? Papa gave him to me, and I'm done with him ignoring me and doing whatever he likes." I should know more by tomorrow night. I looked away from the dame, who suddenly was hurting my eyes. From the way she talked, I tumbled. She didn't mean to put the skids on Rex's racket, but just to get the bulge on him to keep him under her paw. I wished it was more of a surprise, but it would be a lie to say I had no idea. I just wasn't in a position to turn away paying clients, especially ones who didn't blink when I asked twice my usual rate. "When should I come?" Chanel yawned, her tongue curling upwards. "Round about 8 p.m. Now, shoot."
Is that pretty new? Is that published anywhere?
Oh no, I just finished this and sent it off to Hitchcock's, so if you want to hear the end of it, you should write to them and tell the editors that they should publish it.
What is the personal phone number of the editors?
I don't think I have that information on it.
Fair enough. All right, but we've got one of your novels and your 1 hour author website to look back.
Right.
All right, thank you very much, Tyler Tork.
Thank you.